know. You never know.
All right, hey folks. You never know. That's the name of the show. I'm David Olney, and it's spring, but this year's spring is in black and white, evidently. Easter Sunday just passed. Hope you had a good, nice Easter. The Stone with the Easter songs continues to go its happy way. In case you missed it, you can own your very own original David Olney Sonnets on Wood, available at the Art and Invention Gallery in 5 Points in East Nashville. Okay, coming up. This Friday, April 6th, photographer and friend John Partipilo has a big reveal of his new book, Cuba, People in Transition, at the Omar School of Design in Nashville, with an artist talk and book signing. And John, I've known him for years, and he's a lovely person and extremely talented. And I mean, I don't know anything about photography, but you know, it's kind of a measure of artists' ability, that people who don't know anything about what they're doing can be moved by what they're doing, if that makes any sense. So even though I don't know how people take good pictures, what the process is, I look at John's photographs. I'll show you some in a minute, and they're amazing. Okay, and he's a great guy, and so he did a lot of the photographs on Don't Try to Fight It. He did all of them. And, yes. Okay, off the road for a couple of weeks and hitting it hard, starting May 2nd through Mother's Day, with dates in Pennsylvania, all over New York, Massachusetts, and Maryland. And you can check all that stuff out on davidolney.com. Okay, here's John Partipilo's book. And did you see the title there? It's coming. Did you see that? Okay. Okay. I want to read just a paragraph from the kind of gets where John's at, if I can find it. Here it is. This is written by Dan Heller. It's a whole introduction. This is just a paragraph about John. His natural curiosity and willingness to engage with all people keep him tuned to the essential energy, light, and emotional rhythms of the human spirit, no matter where he is or whom he meets. And that's John. He wants to talk to you, and then he wants to take your picture, and then he wants to take your picture while he's talking to you. And then pretty soon you want to talk to him while he's taking your picture. So that, and on it goes. But here's one right. I had to look at this a couple of times to see that it wasn't a painting. What's a painting doing in a photo? Okay, well, it's a photograph. And there, can you see it good? Is that getting it? Okay. Let's check out what this photograph is about. Hold on. Okay. Costumbrista Esperanza Miranda Diaz is licensed by the Cuban government to charge tourists for photographs. Well, Costumbrista Esperanza Miranda Diaz certainly should, and she looks great with that cigar, and it's just a great photograph. Okay, so baseball season has started, and I won't do a baseball song, but it's from Omar's Blues. Just pitching crap all around here. Omar's Blues, and it's got 3 versions: Omar's Blues number 1, Omar's Blues number 2, Omar's Blues number 3. 3 choices of Omar's Blues. This is Omar's Blues number 2 that I'm going to do for you. But Omar is Omar from the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. And what I was trying to do in this version of Omar's Blues, and I'll read it to you here. 5-9 was the one that had it. Verse 9. But come with old Khayyam and leave the lot of Kekobad and Kekrashru for gut. Let Rostam lay about him as he will, and Hatim Tai cry supper, heed them not. Okay, I'm sure your impression is the same as mine when I first read it, which is that's gobbledygook. Who are these people? Who's Kekobad and Kekhosru, and who's Rostam and Hatim Tai? Well, you don't know who they are. But people don't know who American baseball players are unless they're from here. So that was the feeling I was trying to get. If I mentioned a bunch of baseball players, it would be the same kind of effect as Omar mentioning these sort of mythical figures from Persian mythology. So, you don't even have to know that stuff to form an opinion of this song. It's called Omar's Blues No. 2. Omar dug in his pockets and then he said, I got some good news and bad news, my friend. The bad news is bad, let's skip over that. But the good news is good, but it's a trifle thin. It's a trifle thin. It's a trifle thin. Yeah. The good news is good, but it's a trifle thin. He said, I've asked everyone, but nobody knows where in the world the wind goes when it blows, and how in the world it does what it does. But that's exactly my point, and it just goes to show, it just goes to show, just goes to show, yeah, that's exactly my point, and it just goes to show. DiMaggio's gone from the house of Ruth, but Omar remembers the days of his youth. The crowd and the noise, his power and his poise. It's a sad story told in the broadcast booth, in the broadcast booth, in the broadcast booth. Oh yeah. Rizzuto is crying in the broadcast booth. Omar dug in his pockets and then he said, I got some good news and bad news, my friend. The bad news is bad, let's skip over that. The good news is good, but it's a trifle thin. It's a trifle thin. It's a trifle thin. Yeah. The good news is good, but it's a trifle thin. I said the good news is good, but it's a trifle thin. Yeah, the good news is good, but it's a trifle thin. All right, Omar's Blues No. 2. And instead of Kekobad and Kekrashru and Rostam and Hatim Tai, it's DiMaggio and the House of Ruth, Babe Ruth. The House of Ruth, of course, is Yankee Stadium. And it's a sad story told from the broadcast booth. And the greatest, well, that's a tough one. There's Mel Allen, but certainly there's been a whole line of just great Yankee baseball broadcasters, and one of the greatest is Phil Rizzuto. Rizzuto was crying in the broadcast booth, and Rizzuto was the scooter, and he was the shortstop of the New York Yankees during the great DiMaggio years. And he was renowned for his kind of zany, and totally, that was just the way he was. He wasn't trying to be funny, but his really unique broadcast style. And these guys, Tom Payer and Hart Seeley, put together from listening to transcripts, but put together transcripts from listening to old broadcasts of Phil Rizzuto doing Yankee games. And here's one. So he's doing the game. He's got to call the balls and strikes and tell what's going on, but he's got to fill, and this happens in baseball and no other sport, just a constant referencing to old memories. Okay, so he's thinking about his old buddy Gil McDougall, who played second base, I believe, or no, Gil McDougall played third base when Rizzuto was at short, and I think that's the way it was. Phil Rizzuto later moved to shortstop, I believe. He also played second base in there somewhere. Okay, anyway, Gil McDougall. Gil McDougall is the guy that hit the line drive that basically ended Herb Score's career in 1957, I think. Okay. I was with Gil McDougall the other day. Oh boy, he looks great, playing golf in Spring Lakes Golf Club. Sad thing is that, you know, he's totally deaf now. Foul! He stays alive. Still, got a great sense of humor. But he had to retire because he was getting all these phone calls in his business, and he just couldn't, no way he could hear anything. So he sold his business. Very happy. They love him down there at Spring Lake. But I was very happy because he does talk and tell stories, and he's not a good listener. But one thing he told me that I was very happy about. Low, ball 4. What an eye by Noakes. How do you like that? Behind 0-2 when he works his way for a walk. You know what McDougall told me when he saw me? He hadn't seen me for a while. He said, I want to tell you something. You're not as ugly as you look on TV. He said to me. I said, thanks, Gil. So that's May 25th, 1991, New York at Baltimore. Mike Flanagan pitching to Matt Noakes. 9th inning, no outs, bases empty, score tied 4-4. And that's Phil Rizzuto doing the play-by-play. Okay, and I got this book from Peter Cooper, who, with Eric Brace, do a version of Omar's Blues No. 2, which is all I got for you. Play ball.
You never know. You never know. You never know.